Hello, Bart with Bicycle Rider YouTube, where we try to, portray bicycles that give you a lot of bang for your buck. And I believe that this is a lot of bang for your buck. This is called the Specialized Roll EQ. And I take it that EQ probably means equipped. And this bike is definitely equipped. I do work in a bicycle shop. And we are in the midst of the coronavirus, so I've had a lot of people come in to buy bicycles. Some people don't know what they want, or some people come in and say they want a road bike. It seems like people want comfort, people want durability, and people want sure-footiness. People want a good seat. This bike has the cup saddle. I can see this saddle is tilted up a little bit, so before I would sell this bike, I would actually, tilt it down a bit. But the cup saddle cups your butt. It is just a very comfortable saddle to sit on. And when people come in saying they want a road bike, they don't really know what they really mean by road bike. They sit on a road bike and they are not impressed a lot of times. Where when they sit on a bike like this, after not cycling for many years, this is more of a bike that they feel comfortable on right away. You sit on this, the seat feels good, you have a nice straight back, and your posture is good riding this bike. It's almost like you're at a computer desk. And of course, I like this bike so much, I bought one of these for myself. I started riding a roll just because it looked like an adult BMX style bike, and I started thrashing one around town. And the bike is just so much fun. It just hooks into a corner, wheelies down the road. I just feel like a big kid on this bike, but I am a guy who has to go to work. So now I bought this bike so I can ride to work and be comfortable. I do not have to wear bicycle shorts when riding this bike. The seat is very comfortable. I do like the look of these bike naked, but I needed a rack and some fenders, so even if the roads are wet, I don't get that water coming off and hit me, in the back of my shirt, and I show up to work with a big, big stripe down my shirt. And this is one of those old school racks I remember like I had in college, where I would put my books here. I haven't seen a rack like this for years, and it is a very sturdy, solid rack. So, I do use this rack with a bag, and I go to work with my lunch, and it's just very utility-like, and I can still throw this bike around through city, even with the fenders and a rack. And when I'm throwing this bike around, I notice this has kind of a plastic or a polymer fender. I like that. This bike does not make a lot of noise when I'm going through town and I'm jumping off curbs and I'm, really riding this bike hard. I can do that without a bunch of noise coming from this rack or these fenders. So if you look at the fenders and say they're cheap plastic fenders, to me, they're not. They're designed, purpose designed to, let you ride this bike hard and still have the comfort of a few feature comforts of, a rack and stuff. Now, the Roll EQ is about $650. And you do get a lot for it. With the Roll EQ compared to the Roll Sport or some of the other rolls, you do have a front and rear shifters. So I've got two chain rings up front that I can choose from. And sometimes since this bike is a heavy duty bike, it's got an A1 aluminum frame, so you're surprised how light this bike is, but yet it does have quite a bit of tire and quite a bit of rim. The rims are rock solid. So, this is not the most efficient bike, especially when you're going up a hill into the wind. And so it does give you a smaller chain ring and drop down if you're carrying heavy, if you're packing a big load or something. You can reduce the gears and really get up a hill. But yet, it's got a big gear too, so if you want some speed, you can go. Now this is a micro shift, 9-speed rear derailleur in the back. It's an altless rear derailleur and a micro shift, shifter. And it just, it's got a trigger shifter, so it shifts really easy. It's almost like pulling a trigger. You guys would laugh at me, but I actually get into arrow position on this bike sometimes going to work like this, and I get up on the nose of the seat like I'm on my tri-bike or something. And I can actually get, some good speed out of this bike, but I think this bike was really, people ask what it is, and it's not a beach cruiser, even though it's got the nice big fat tires. They're 650 wheel, and the tire on them is this And this is it's a 650 by 2.3 Sport with black belt protection. It's a Nimbus tire. It's got the reflective sidewall on it, and this tire just makes it so sure-footed. It's a blast to ride on the urban, where you have, like I ride through Biloxi, Mississippi, and there's a lot of nicely paved roads, but on the other hand, there's a lot of side roads with potholes and gravel, and this tire is basically an all-terrain tire for that type of stuff. So, I do ride this bike, and, I do make videos, so if you like the content on the Bicycle Rider, please hit subscribe. That way YouTube ranks us. Doesn't cost you any money. It just helps us, helps us a little bit get a ranking from YouTube. But I cannot say enough good about this bike. I race bikes, performance bikes, mountain bikes, triathlon bikes, road bikes, and this is a bike that I ride to work, and I'm very happy and proud to ride this bike every day. And there's just a lot of cool things about this bike, and we're going to do a long-term test on this bike. So I'll keep pushing the limits of what this can do. If you have any questions on the roll or the roll EQ, hit me up. I'd be glad to answer anything I could. Like I said, this is my daily rider. So if you want a cool bike that's comfortable, roll Sport, roll EQ. Thank you.